Hello, I'm Adriana and welcome to the channel. On my own journey of learning how to access my intuition and higher vibration information from the other side, it's been a process of working on my issues every single day. Having learned how to be a clear vessel, I have realized and learned that my gift is really helping people on the individual level. So today is an individual reading. I'm going to ask us to take a moment and align energy so we can connect and I can get the information for you that you need to hear at this time. So if you could just take a moment to really land in your chair or land in wherever you are, perhaps closing your eyes, taking a little bit of time to tune inward. Notice what you're feeling. Allowing that feeling to just be, but allowing also this warmth and this golden energy to surround and encompass you, go through you and in you and around you. So even if you're not feeling that, if you're feeling what you're feeling in your body more strongly, just know that that golden light is there. And let's both bring our attention into the heart center for a couple breaths. Okay, we're going to get started. So please show me who I'm talking to and what's going on. Okay, the star, 7 of Cups, 6 of Wands, and then your card, King of Wands. Interesting. So you are the one in the command position. You are the one in charge. There's a lot of optimism in this card, a lot of looking into the future with the expectation of good happening. I'm also seeing a balanced mental... Sounds funny to say this out loud. There's a balanced mental state. You're a person who really takes your time to make good judgments. You're not afraid to act when the right opportunity presents itself. So you do step forward with a lot of confidence when you feel it's right, but you also have learned not to rush into things. And so when an opportunity or a situation presents itself to you, you really are able to assess it quickly because of the balanced state that your mind is in. And I believe this is a state that you've cultivated, or perhaps it's a state that you've matured into. I'm also sensing the presence of a family behind you. Whether this is other side or is this other side, this seems like it's more of a physical family. So you may be the leader in your family, the one who everyone looks to make decisions or has the wise answers. But you've also been going through a period of doubt, questioning, our 7 of Cups here. And we'll get into a little bit of that in a second. Anything else we need to know here? You also have a very strong, joyful side. You know how to enjoy yourself. There is an element of play in you. You're happy to explore like games, or I guess sports could work. But there's just a fun, competitive spirit in you. You know how to have fun, but not to take things too seriously. Okay, so what's going on in this situation? We've got the 7 of Cups looking at the star, and we've got the 6 of Wands behind the 7 of Cups. So there's doubts as to what your true leadership role is. You're not quite sure if you're on course, if you're off course. I find this really interesting visually because the 6 of Wands, you're seated on this horse, you're leading the ones behind you. And there's a pool of water here, which would be the reflection, right? What are you seeing in that pool? This card, he's looking straight into that pool, but he's seeing an illusion or a delusion. And what is he seeing? He's seeing the 6 of Cups, which is about, 6 is a family number, meaning home or family. And so there's some confusion as to what role you're supposed to continue to play or what you're supposed to do in the family. Because, the King of Wands to me is a very outward card, a very outward focused, someone that people would look up to, or you have this presence on the outside. But how much time do you really get to spend being inward? And perhaps you've had more time as of late to be inward, and because of that, there's a confusion going on. I'm just not sure how to navigate this world. I'm a person in the sun. I love the outdoors, and all of a sudden you've put me in this aquarium and I don't know what to do here. And there are also false beliefs about the family, the belief that you have to be the heroic, strong, brave one. And this is something that you believe the family expects from you. But is that belief really true? Because in fulfilling that role for everyone else, you've neglected yourself. You've neglected this one cup. And this time right now is giving you the space to come back together to yourself. That is the star. You're literally putting yourself back together so that the inside and outside can match. This has the flavor of, sometimes when you read the news or you hear stories where someone does something unexpected, that, they appear to be this very happy family person, or to have this successful job, or to have all of these things really working out for them. They look perfect on the outside, but then you learn on the inside that there's something going on, and you learn because they do something strange. They, in the most dramatic circumstances, end up taking their own lives, or they just do something that seems completely out of character and is really hard to understand, because it seems on the outside everything was going so well. And it seems to me like because of there's been a pressure or a weight on you to hold up your appearance a certain way, that inner world is just, it's not as strong as the outer world. And so when you are forced to go inward, there is confusion because you don't know what you're seeing or how to get back on track to yourself. So what else can you tell us about this situation? Two of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. So interesting. I'm go too gendery here, because King of Wands, although he's a king, it's masculine energy, so it could be feminine as well. But here we have, you're being challenged by a feminine energy, but who wants to be comfortable, who wants to just be provided for. So if this is a traditional situation and you find you're married, then perhaps you're feeling pressure from a wife or a dependent older child that is wanting you to fulfill a certain emotional obligation, and you're not quite sure either how to do that or where you've fallen short. There's also a sense, again, of someone asking you to be something you're not. You're kind of contained and whole in who you are, you know who you are, but someone is asking something more from you and you just don't feel like, you're like, how do I do that? I don't even know how to do that. And what are they asking for? The Moon and the Prince of Pentacles. Well, this explains why I'm struggling a little bit to see it, because they're not letting you see. There's a lot of hiding in these cards. There's a lot of deception in these cards. So there's hidden expectations for you, and it's as if the more you do, or the more you try to do the right thing, the more you seem to fall short. So the more you put yourself out there, the more the other person seems disappointed or critical or unhappy with what you're doing. And it's almost as if you feel like you can't do anything. You can't put a foot forward because there's no way to please this person. There's no way to bring them what they want. This also ties back to your relationship with your own mother, how you felt it was impossible to please her, impossible to keep her happy. And she might be part of the reason why you grew up to be this figure, so strong and so good at making decisions. but inside still kind of confused as to what people really want, because at the bottom of this, you're not totally sure what you truly want on an emotional level. You're really good at making decisions on some levels, but on that deep emotional level, there's an unwillingness to go to that emotional place. Okay, so advice, please. Oh boy, 10 of Cups just fell out. That's this card here. That's our family card. But it's also wholeness within the self. All right. And we've got the Prince of Swords, the 8 of Pentacles. Whoa, my God, 10 of Swords, and I almost dropped it. It's not wanting to be dropped. And the Ace of Cups. So it's time to start. So I started with the 10, I drew the ace at the end, so we're coming full circle. It's time that you start taking action to please yourself, to really align with your own self-love, and to let that be the only thing that matters to you. This is asking you, the 10 of Swords next to the 8 of Pentacles is asking you to stop doing what you're habitually doing, which is always running in to save the situation, always running in to fix it, always running in to make it better. And it's like it's a knee-jerk thing. You don't even hesitate. When there's a problem, you're there. And the more you do this, the more people expect it of you, and the more you're tied into this place rather than, so we found this Ace of Cups here, rather than being in your own connection. So this is an interesting thing to learn. When a person is in alignment with their higher selves, they radiate this energy of harmony and calm and peace that has almost an intangible effect on the environment around them. So you can have agitated people around you, and all you have to do is sit in that place of calm, connection, and alignment. And all of a sudden, it's like this magic happens. Somehow your aura has radiated outwards to calm them down without you actually doing anything. And that's what we're trying to do when we're fixing. Really, we're trying to help people come back to a space of calm, help people come back to a space of harmony. But the problem is, because we get into these, first of all, the people that are wanting to be fixed are into this negative ego pattern where they are creating dramas for themselves. When you rush in to fix that, you are contributing to the drama, because they don't actually want to be fixed. And when you're in the role of fixer, you don't want them to be fixed either. So everyone is bypassing harmony, even though it seems like you're doing the right thing, even though you're trying to bring them back to a sense of peace or balance or harmony. How long do they really stay there? And how long is it before you're then rushing off to solve another problem? And the more, again, the more and more problems you solve, the more and more people seem to be dissatisfied. So let's drop all of that together and learn about what is it that you really want for yourself? What really feels good to you? And this is going to be difficult for you to really assess correctly, because what you're used to feeling good is jumping into fix. And so if you step back and you say, I'm not going to fix, then you're going to probably feel guilty, or you're going to feel like you're missing something, or you're going to feel a little bit out of control, because you won't know what's going on. But this is about coming back to your true heart and aligning with your soul and your higher self and what you truly want, what truly makes you feel loved. Because that's another thing. We jump into fixed problems because that's how we think we're going to get love. But what if you just provided that love for yourself from the inside? And what that means is paying attention to yourself, listening to yourself, honoring what you're feeling, honoring what you're perceiving of the world, and eventually feeling actually that warmth and appreciation and gratitude for all the things that you are. That's ultimately what self-love is about. And it's through that connection that you are able to also access the divine, because the divine feels nothing but unconditional love for us. And when you stay in that powerful vibration, powerful alignment with the divine, that's when you can actually radiate the energy of calm and harmony to those around you. And it's a wonderful paradox because you don't actually have to do anything. You just have to be in that state. So are there any last words for this soul? Yes, there are. 3 of Swords, 4 of Cups, 4 of Swords. Now again, wow, it's really fascinating to me how many of the cards in your reading are referencing each other. So 3 of Swords here. So we've got 3 swords pointed upwards. Look, there's three of Swords pointed upwards here, and then the Ace of Swords across his lap. 4 of Cups has the 3 spilled cups and the 1 upstanding cup. There's our upstanding cup, but also our upstanding cup here. So you're getting a lot of messages over and over and over about, I see this, they're trying to really underscore how ingrained and how repetitious this habit is, this 8 of Pentacles, running into save, running into fix, and not getting the solutions you'd like, or not getting the outcome you'd like. So this is a deep pattern, this is habitual, but all it takes is you stepping back from the impulse to jump in and essentially betray yourself and essentially betray those around you by jumping into that lower vibration. It just takes you stepping back and taking a moment to think about this, to think about, wait a minute, what am I really doing? Am I allowing the person to figure this out for themselves? Am I stepping into a role that I know is not going to be good for either of us, because either it increases their dependence or it increases their disappointment in what I'm doing? Am I setting myself up? Just taking a second to sit back and think through everything we've talked about in the course of this reading. 3 and 3 here. So this happens a lot. It's social pressure from the family. 6 of Cups is a double 3, 3 and 3. So you do feel this pressure from people around you to step into this, and it's going to take a lot of willpower to step back. But also, this card is coming as a benefit, being more neutral about what's going on, understanding that we walk parallel with other people on their paths. Sometimes our paths just completely diverge like this, right? They don't touch at all, but those that are in our lives for a reason, we are on parallel journeys, but they are journeys of the individual soul. So even if you've given birth to someone, or even if you have contributed to the DNA of someone, that's their journey. It is not yours. Your journey is not theirs. It's separate journeys, but supportive in a parallel way. And so because of that, it is possible to maintain a state of neutrality about those that are very close to us, even though we have ties to them, even though we may feel very deeply about them. It is possible to say, well, at this moment, this is their path. Their path is taking them to a place that I don't really want to go. So I'm going to stay on my own path. I'm going to stay in my own lane and keep myself in a good place. And when they're ready to come back and interact with me from that good place, then we can have a dialogue. So it's loving the self, putting the self first in order to show up for others in the best way possible. And that will give you the resolution of this leadership, because you're going to be leading from the inside out rather than the outside in. You'll be leading from a sense of clarity and purpose and true confidence and alignment with the self rather than total alignment with the others. Okay, I just want to take a second for all of that to kind of sit. Thank you for giving us the guidance and the clarity today in this reading. Thank you for the protection you've given us and the deeper connection to figure this all out. And thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon.